drifts in the hidden room. 808 quake shakes the velvet gloom. Hi-hat slice with a viper's doom. Every rival I face meets sudden tomb. Red curtains sway and the shadows crawl. Sin stabs burn at the sinner's call. Metal blocks hum to the crimson wall. And the secrets I keep could end them all. Piano runs cold in a haunted key. Brass stabs roar with a death decree. Glitch box twist in a wicked spree. Every 4 bars bind the room to me. Scarlet Backroom holds my reign. Every step I take draws blood and pain. When the lights fade down they can't complain. And the beat pounds hard like a cursed chain. Footsteps drag on the cracked red tile. 808 bends in a venom style. Hi-hats whip with a ruthless dial. Every rival I strike stays dead oh while. Sick smoke twist in a shadow curl. Synth leads hiss where the demons whirl. Brass stab slam as the red lights swirl. And the deals I make could drown a world. Piano notes bleed in a bitter cry. Glitch lines tear through a phantom sky. Every rhyme I spit makes the weak ones die. And the back room learns who stands and why. Scarlet Backroom holds my reign. Every step I take draws blood and pain. When the lights fade down they can't complain. And the beat bounds hard like a cursed chain. Sound 808 crush shakes the underground. Hi-hats fire to the dark surround. Every rival I face stay spellbound. Red shadows crawl where the sinners meet. Synth stabs crack with a violent heat. Metal plucks hum in the tight backseat. And the room bows low to the king they greet. Piano climbs high then breaks apart. Brass stabs roar through a dying heart. Glitch box laugh in a crimson art. And the night grows cold as the rituals start. Scarlet Backroom holds my reign. Every step I take draws blood and pain. When the lights fade down they can't complain. And the beat pounds hard like a cursed chain. Rise slow in the hidden space. 808 growl fills a sinner's place. Hi-hats whip in a deadly pace. Every scar I leave they can't erase. Synth leads twist in a savage tone. Brass stabs crack through the blood red zone. Glitch lines snap to the truth is shown. And the back room crowns me on its throne. Piano runs sharp in a ghostly plea. Metal plucks echo like destiny. Every rhyme I spit is a death decree. And the room bows down to the reign of me. Scarlet Backroom holds my reign. Every step I take draws blood and pain. When the lights fade down they can't complain. And the beat pounds hard like a cursed chain. Red hour hits in the broken dawn. 808 quake shakes the dead light lawn. Hi-hat slice where the crowds are gone. Every rival I faced is already drawn. Empty glasses gleam on the bloodstained floor. Sin stabs whisper like a ghost at war. Metal plucks hum in the closing door. In the aftermath breathes what came before. Piano flickers cold in a dying climb. Brass stabs shiver in the morning time. Glitch box twist in a fading rhyme. Every 4 bars hold a crime. Red hour aftermath haunts this place. Every mark I left stains time and space. When the lights fade out I won the race. And the beat pounds slow like a fading chase. Footsteps trace through the empty hall. 808 bends with the final call. Hi-hats whip in a weekend brawl. Every rival I crushed won't rise at all. Ash hangs low in the morning haze. Synth leads side with the dead in phrase. Brass stabs echo in the quiet maze. And the silent screams of darker days. Piano notes bleed in a fractured line. Glitch lines hiss like a warning sign. Every rhyme I spit seals the night's decline. And the dog bows down to what's still mine. Red hour aftermath haunts this place. Every mark I left stains time and space. When the lights fade out I won the race. And the beat pounds slow like a fading chase. Storm winds crawl in the dying glow. 808 crush moves the shadow slow. Hi-hats fire in an afterglow. Every rival I face can't overthrow. Blood warm air fills a vacant zone. Sin stabs crack with a breathless tone. Metal plucks hum like a final groan. In the aftermath carves my name in stone. Piano climbs high then drops its cry. Brass stabs roar with a last goodbye. Glitch fox laugh in a bitter try. And the club all fade as the echoes die. Red hour aftermath haunts this place. Every mark I left stains time and space. When the lights fade out I won the race. And the beat pounds slow on the crimson streak. 808 growl feels tired and weak. Hi-hats whisper in a dying leak. Every scar right left writes a havoc we speak. Synth leads warp with a fragile tone. Brass stabs cry like a kingdom blown. Glitch lines tremble through the empty zone. And the aftermath crowns me alone. Piano runs thin in a ghostly plea. Metal plucks echo with quiet decree. Every rhyme I spit seals the victory. In the red our fades would not run. Red lanterns glow in the center street. 808 quake shakes the shadow beat. Hi-hats sliced with a venom heat. Every rival I face meets quick defeat. Six smoke crawls through to the crimson fog. Sin stabs burn like a hellborn log. Metal plucks hum in the backroom smog. And the ritual starts with a sinner's jog. Piano rings cold in a minor drain. Brass stabs roar with a twisted pain. Glitch fox twists like a blood red stain. Every 4 bars mark the dark campaign. Red district ritual seals the fate. Every step I take opens hell's gate. When the lights turn dim they hesitate. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing night. Footsteps drag through the neon lies. 808 bends as another dies. Hi-hats whip in the ruthless guise. Every rival I crush only testifies. Candles melt slow in the wicked glow. Synth leads high where the shadows go. Brass stab slam in a fatal throw. And the ritual deepens below. Piano notes bleed in a ghostly cry. Glitch lines here in a sinner sky. Every rhyme I spit makes a weak one sigh. And the red bone curse keeps the power high. Red district ritual seals the fate. Every step I take opens hell's gate. When the lights turn dim they hesitate. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing neck. Turn in the secret room, 808 crush shakes the velvet doom. Hi-hats fire like a closing tomb. Every rival I face meets curse and gloom. Blood drops shine on the ritual plate. Sin stabs burn with a violent fate. Metal plucks hum as the sinner's wait. And the ritual crown seals the slate. Piano climbs high, then splits apart. Brass stabs roar through a dying heart. Glitch fox laugh in the wicked art. And the streets all bow when the rights restart. Born, 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 born. Yeah. Red district ritual seals the fate. Every step I take opens hell's gate. When the lights turn dim they hesitate. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing day. Red district ritual seals the fate. Every step I take opens hell's gate. When the lights turn dim they hesitate. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing day. That's all like a cursing day. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing day. That's all like a cursing day. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing day. That's all like a cursing day. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing day. And the beat pounds hard like a cursing day. And the beat pounds hard like. Red lights fall like a holy flame. 808 quake shakes the hall in shame. Hi-hat sliced with a sacred aim. Every rival I face so forgets the name. Crimson glass glows in the vaulted dome. Sin stabs cry in a ghostly tone. Metal plucks hum through the catacomb. And the steps I take claim this place my home. Piano rings cold like a dying prayer. Brass stabs howl through the smoky air. Glitch fox twist in a wicked snare. Every 4 bars carve despair. Crimson cathedral bows to me. Every move I make marks destiny. When the lights bleed red, they bend the knee. And the beat pounds hard like a liturgy. Footsteps echo through the sinner's nave. 808 bends in a violent wave. Hi-hats whip like a right to crave. Every rival I crush meets a crimson grave. Burning incense clouds the shrine. Scent leaves roar with the deathborn sign. Brass stab slam as the sinners align. In the crimson faith becomes divine. Piano notes bleed in a cursed refrain. Glitch lines tear through the sacred chain. Every rhyme I spit brands the night in pain. And the hall repeats my dark campaign. Crimson cathedral bows to me. Every move I make marks destiny. When the lights bleed red, they bend the knee. And the beat pounds hard like a liturgy. Scarlet let storm shake the holy ground. 808 crush breaks the ultrasound. Hi-hats fire till the lost are found. Every rival I face won't stick around. Blood red wax drips in a solemn pace. Synth steps crack across the space. Metal blocks hum with a spectral trace. And the crimson fate takes full embrace. Piano climbs high then cracks apart. Brass steps roar through a dying heart. Gleek's fox laugh like a cursed part. And the hollow scream as the rites restart. Crimson Cathedral bows to me. Every move I make marks destiny. When the lights bleed red, they bend the knee. And the beat pounds hard like a liturgy. Flames rise tall in the vaulted fire. 808 crowd with a dark desire. Hi-hats whip like a funeral pyre. Every scar I carve builds the empire. Sin leads melt in a savage tone. Brass stabs cry as the saints dethrone. Glitch lines snap with a spectral moan. And the crimson church becomes my throne. Piano runs sharp in a ghostly plea. Metal blocks echo with cruelty. Every rhyme I spit crowns my decree. And the cathedral kneels to the God in me. Crimson Cathedral bows to me. Every move I make marks destiny. When the lights bleed red, they bend the knee. And the beat pounds hard like a liturgy. Red sirens blink in the iron shade. 808 quake shakes the ground I made. Hi-hat slice like a razor blade. Every rival I face gets unmade. Steel doors groan in the basement deep. Synth stabs burn where the shadows creep. Metal blocks hum like a curse and sleep. And the forbidden floor swallows what we keep. Piano runs cold in a haunted slide. Brass stabs roar like a death denied. Bleach fox twits with a violent stride. Every four bars pull the veil aside. Forbidden basement owns my breath tonight. Every step I take bends wrong to right. When the lights turn red, they lose the fight. And the beat pounds hard like a death row right. Footsteps echo in the bolted hall. 808 bends with a killing call. Hi-hats whip like a sudden brawl. Every rival I crush won't rise at all. Cables stick to the crimson floor. Synth leads howl like a ghost at war. Brass stabs slam through the iron door. And the dark-born rules stay forevermore. Piano notes bleed in a minor rain. Glitch lines tear through the sinner's chain. Every rubber spit brands the night with pain. And the basement whispers my domain. Forbidden basement owns my breath tonight. Every step I take bends wrong to right. When the lights turn red, they lose the fight. And the beat pounds hard like a death row right. Scarlet fog calls in the wire den. 808 crush shakes the room again. Hi-hats fire in a lethal spin. Every rival I face won't breathe again. Red stains glow in the broken glass. Synth stabs crack as the shadows pass. Metal plucks hum like a war-born mass. In the basement throne cries the underclass. Piano climbs high then bursts in two. Brass stabs roar through the crimson hue. Glitch fox laugh in a twisted view. And the whole floor shakes as the curse breaks through. Forbidden basement owns my breath tonight. Every step I take bends wrong to right. When the lights turn red, they lose the fight. And the beat pounds hard like a death row right. Flames lick slow through the rusted grate. 808 growl shakes the hands of fate. Hi-hat snap in a venom state. Every mark I carve feels another slate. Synth leads warp with a savage cry. Brass stabs burn as the futures die. Glitch lines snap in a curse reply. In the basement bows as the king walks by. Piano runs sharp with a ghostly plea. Metal blocks echo in brutality. Every rhyme I spin fights reality. And the forbidden floor belongs to me. Forbidden basement owns my breath tonight. Every step I take bends wrong to right. When the lights turn red, they lose the fight. And the beat pounds hard like a death row right. Red velvet drapes hide us inside. 808 quake shakes the floor worldwide. Hi-hats ticking like a blade that lied. Every rival I face gets crucified. Smoke calls in a poison bloom. Synth stabs burn in the velvet gloom. Metal plucks hum like a closing tomb. And the steps I take still another doom. Piano endlessly shine. Brass tabs roar as the walls align. Glitch box twist with a cursed design. Every 4 bars withdraw the crime. Red velvet basement drowns my pain. Every move I make cuts through the vein. When the lights go low, I still remain. And the beat pounds hard like a blood red chain. Footsteps echo in the crimson hall. 808 bends with a ruthless call. Hi-hat snap till the shadows fall. Every rival I strike hit the final wall. Red liquor stains on a marble floor. Synth leads cry with a violent roar. Brass tap slam as the sinners implore. And the velvet curse opens hell's door. Pianos bleed and the minor burn. Glitch lines here as the tables turn. Every rhyme I spit resonate in churn. And the velvet rain is what they earn. Red velvet basement drowns my pain. Every move I make cuts through the vein. When the lights go low, I still remain. And the beat pounds hard like a blood red chain. Sirens wail through the shadow frame. 808 crush shakes the club in flame. Hi-hats fire in a ruthless game. Every rival I meet can remain the same. Candles melt slow in a wicked glow. Synth stabs bite with a lethal flow. Metal plucks hum where the night winds blow. And the velvet blood marks what I bestow. Piano climbs high then breaks apart. Brass tabs scream to a dying heart. Glitch box laugh in the crimson mart. And the room all shake as I tear apart. Red velvet basement drowns my pain. Every move I make cuts through the vein. When the lights go low, I still remain. And the beat pounds hard like a blood red chain. Twist in the velvet haze. 808 growl in the club's dark maze. Hi-hats whip in a venom phrase. Every scar I leave is a crown I raise. Synth leads warp with a burning sting. Brass tabs roar like a violent king. Glitch lines twist as the sinners cling. And the velvet doom fuels everything. Piano runs sharp with a haunted plea. Metal tongues cry when the flames decree. Every rhyme I spit is a death parquet. And the room all bow to the city man. Red velvet basement drowns my pain. Every move I make cuts through the vein. When the lights go low, I still remain. And the beat pounds hard like a blood red chain. Fog slips through the narrow lane. 808 quake shakes the blood in vein. Hi-hat sliced with a venomous chain. Every rival I face gets erased and stained. Red neon hums on a broken wall. Synth stabs burn as the shadows crawl. Metal plucks ring like a midnight call. And the steps I take start a crimson brawl. The energy's cold in a haunted rise. Brass stabs roar with a violent guise. Glitch fox twist like a sinner's lies. Every 4 bars paint the city's cries. Crimson breathe life. Echo on the rust red ground. 808 bends with a killing sound. Hi-hats whip till the dark's around. Every rival I crush stay spellbound. Synth burns slow in the neon haze. Synth leaves howling a vengeful blaze. Brass stabs slam through the sinner's maze. And the crimson trail marks my violent ways. Piano notes bleed in a minor chain. Glitch lines tear through the club's domain. Every rhyme I spit brings the night with pain. And the walls all shake as I stake my claim. Crimson Rifflet. Through the broken door. 808 crush shakes the club's cold core. Hi-hats fire like a closing war. Every rival I face won't rise no more. Bells drip slow in the sinner's ring. Synth stab crack with a savage sting. Metal plucks hum with the nightclub's cling. And a crimson pulse crowns me king. Kilo climbs high then breaks apart. Brass stabs roar like a dying heart. Glitch fox laugh in the shadow mart. And the crowd all bow as I tear apart. Crimson Prince on. smoke swirls in a midnight gloom. 808 growl shakes a sinner's tomb. Hi-hats whip with a violent boom. Every scar I leave feels another doom. Sin leaves twist with a cursed flare. Brass stabs burn in the neon air. Glitch light snap to the rival stare. And the crimson rain is the throne I bear. Backyard runs cold in a haunted plea. Metal plug second with a ghostly key. Every rhyme I spit is a death decree. And the streets all kneel to the blood in me. Crimson! Crimson! Crimson fog slips through the narrow lane. 808 quake shakes the blood in vein. Hi-hats slice with a venomous chain. Every rival I face gets erased in stain. Red neon hums on the broken wall. Sin stabs burn as the shadows crawl. Metal pucks ring like a midnight call. And the steps I take start a crimson brawl. Piano drips cold in a haunted rise. Brass steps roll with the violent guys. Glitch bugs twist like a sinner's lies. Every 4 bars break the city's cries. Crimson Alley, praise my name tonight. Crimson Alley breathes my name tonight. Every move I make cuts through the light. When the smoke drifts low, they lose the fight, and the beat pounds hard like a deathboard. Footsteps echo on the rust-red ground. 808 bends with a killing sound. Hi-hats whip till the dark's around. Every rival I crush, stay spellbound. Sick burn slow in the neon haze. Scent leads howl in a vengeful blaze. Brass steps slam through the sinner's maze. And the crimson trail marks my violent ways. Piano notes bleed in a minor chain. Glitch lines tear through the club's domain. Every rhyme I spit resonate with pain. And the walls all shake cause I stake my claim. Crimson Alley, praise my name tonight.